can you give us maybe one or two things that you'd recommend split testing on a landing page?
Yeah, so I just mentioned this idea of ugly page versus super beautiful page. So that's one thing. Like having a page that's the exact same copy, but there's either no images or you change the images around. One of the key things to make sure that you do when you're learning as you're testing is try to test as few things as possible. So having a page that's entirely devoid of images and graphics or pretty minimal versus one that's elaborate, that would be considered to me one big thing. You could also decide to test one image versus another in the hero section. Another thing that I think people don't test enough, Igor, is the actual offer. So we all want to transform the lives of our customers, right, through some kind of means. That could come from the forum as far as a lead magnet goes, as a checklist or a video or a one-on-one call or a webinar. It could be any number of things of what you actually use to get people to the next stage, right? So actually testing out what is that thing that you're giving in exchange for the email for the same person who's seeing the same challenge can be something that you can split test. So I would encourage you, whatever you're giving away right now, let's say you have a 7 point checklist, give away an Excel template or a Google Sheets template that helps people do the same exact thing, call it something different. And you can take the test and you can hook up your form to two different lists, send them the thing that's appropriate, or send them both at the end of the day. Doesn't matter to me like what happens after the thank you page, but from that first conversion point of the landing page, testing out a completely different offer to solve for the same person's challenge and the same challenge can be super effective at you knowing what do people actually want. And we have looked at this over the years, and what we tend to find is that people over index on how much time it should take to put something together, that's what they want their lead magnet to be. So they think to themselves, oh, I'm going to put together this 3 hour training about XYZ topic. And then if you split test that against a 10 point checklist or a Google Sheet template for the same person, you might be surprised to see that template that takes you 20 minutes to put together outperforms a 3 hour video. And it could be the reverse, of course. But the idea is that people tend to trend towards the shorter to consume type of thing where they can see an immediate win, some kind of an ROI on their time or their money investment. And so make sure that you're testing those types of offers out. Those are two big things that I would test, Igor, as a starting point for many other things. But before you go too granular on like button color or on like changing one word in a headline, try to take a little bit of a larger approach first, because you'll likely see a bigger jump in the conversion rates. And then after you've done that, you test and iterate on the more and more granular things like a headline change or a button color, or do you include an about you section, or you don't include the about you section, or you include social proof logos, or the logos are at the top of the page versus at the bottom. Those things you should test as well, but do that after you've tested some of these more high impact visual and copy cues.
Yo, it's Igor. I want you to have my Amazon best-selling book for free for taking the time to listen to my podcast and to watch my YouTube videos. Now, I'm not only going to give you this book for free, but I'm going to throw in about $3.2 thousand in free bonuses. Now, if you want to get this book, please click the link in the description, or you can also go to igorsbook.com. And now, back to the podcast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And I had no idea up until maybe 3 years ago. So we're talking after I'm already making a lot of money, just how important the offer testing is. Like I was prolific in creating offers, but I never really took the same thing and tried to spin it in different ways. And it wasn't until last year that I really took that concept to heart, and it as a result was able to create like a really tremendous growth for my business in many different directions, in at least three directions, just by testing the offer, like literally taking this leaving the everything it builds up to the offer, like all the sales copy and the headlines the same, but when the moment when I'm pitching, right, to pitch it differently. And that made a tremendous difference. In fact, it unlocked a traffic source that became a dominant traffic source for us, and it also created a different avenue. It exposed us to a different market, a different niche. Like a lot of things happened that you know that I now realize only happened as a result of having that offer. So, of having like the same offer again, it was the same offer. I'm sorry, the same product, but in it was sold in a different way, or the offer felt different, or was positioned or packaged differently. So, it's a tremendous tip, and I think you're so right when you say that people waste time, split testing green button versus yellow and things like that, because that's what I used to do when I started out. Like these seemed like the easiest things I could test, right? I could test a different headline, I could test a different button color, I could test having an arrow pointing to the opt-in form versus not having an arrow pointing to the opt-in form. I could test a word change. I could test longer copy versus shorter copy. But I think the biggest leap or leaps that I've ever made were thanks to an offer reposition rather than like an element on page reposition. So that's a tremendous tip. All right,
Yeah.
guys. So this was Bob Sparkins from Lead Pages, and I endorse Lead Pages wholeheartedly. You can go and check it out. Either going to igor.cx/lead pages, which is my affiliate link, and you can then contact me at support@lisbonlifestyle.com